Jeremiah Love is a player that you have to keep an eye out on just because of a running back, his versatility, how good he is in the receiving game this year. We haven't seen a running back potentially crack the top three when you just think about it with the Heisman Trophy back there. Jeremiah Love just dominant. If Notre Dame wins out and they're in the college football playoff, Love should be involved in the conversation.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
Starts off on a positive note of getting Lamar Jackson back Thursday night, which was great. He threw for 200 yards, did not look rusty at all. He only rushed for 15, but he didn't really need that. Lamar Jackson also threw for 4 touchdowns, 2 of which going to Mark Andrews. So guess who's back and relative again at the tight end position now that Lamar's back? Oh, wait, it's Mark Andrews. No kidding. I mean, the guy just catches touchdowns. It's Lamar's favorite guy in the red zone.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Fly Pelican, more like grounded Pelican. The Pelicans are 0-6 to start the season. Their main guys aren't their main guys. And it comes to a point where, what do you do if you are Joe Dumars and the leadership of New Orleans?
Pro Basketball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Blue Jays are going to be dangerous for years to come because they have money. They're a fun team. Other players like Guerrero, the Blue Jays are a first-class organization. They treat the players very well. They're first-class complex. As I stated earlier, you can live like across the street from the stadium and there's no drama. You don't have to sit in traffic ever. You have an entire country that buys your jerseys and are big fans of yours.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
It's a Thursday right here on the SportsGrid Network, and that means it's time for the early line. We're past hump day, people. It's Thursday. We're almost to Friday and an exciting weekend and also an exciting night in sports night, which includes the NFL back in our lives. We'll certainly hit that game and much more. And also, you know what? Your boy Donnie right side told you last night there was an undefeated NBA team out there that probably is going to take a loss and will fade the public. Yep, that was the Portland Trail Blazers, 121-119 outright over the Oklahoma City Thunder. We have so many hot topics to get to. I'm Donnie Rightside. He's Joe Ranieri. And away we go into the morning to set the table for your SportsGrid day, Joe.
You mean Oklahoma City wasn't going to go undefeated, Donnie? Wow. That is impressive here because, wow, I thought they would have run the table on an 82-game season here. A lot of basketball, a lot of college basketball still to come this weekend. And, of course, a lot of college football, Donnie.
A lot of college football to get to, and that's really a topic and a starting point for a Thursday because you don't have to run the table anymore to make it into the college football playoff. But how much do we care about the college football playoff? Time to get caffeinated, Joe. Let's go.
Yes, Donnie, because today we do need to talk about the expanded college football playoff here because remember what they sold us on? Remember the big lie? We're expanding the playoffs, so more teams have a chance. Oh, please. That was maybe the biggest crock of absolute garbage I have ever heard, Donnie. And we saw it last year, right? It was fun to see teams like SMU and Boise State get in, right? That was fun. But then what happened? Yeah, they got steamrolled. They got their doors blown off. It wasn't a playoff. It was more of a public execution. And now we're supposed to sit through these new college football playoff ranking shows all month pretending, we're excited. It feels more like a waste of time, Donnie, because what are we supposed to do here? Debate if Virginia or Georgia Tech is still in the hunt? You got to give me a break here. We all know how this movie ends. The little guys are just scrambling around until they get to take their turn getting dispatched by the big dogs. But here's the great irony, I think, Donnie, and I was thinking about this last night. By trying to make the playoffs more interesting, they've accidentally made the regular season an absolute blast to be a part of because the journey is now incredible. All we're talking about is chaos. Is Texas back? Is Vandy still alive? Is this an elimination game? Coaches are getting fired left and right. Now, that's the chaos that we all know and love. But this playoff feels like the ultimate buzzkill, Donnie. It's the check, please, on an amazing regular season, but we all know who's picking up that check. And more importantly, we all know who's picking up the trophy at the end. It's kind of just like a stormtrooper about to take out a village of Ewoks, Donnie. Its entire purpose is to end the fun, to eliminate the chaos, and to smother all the happy underdog stories, just to crown the same teams we always crown. Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama, yawn, give me a break. But there is one Ewok out there, Donnie, that might actually change it all, and that's Indiana, because they made the playoff last year, and the numbers don't lie this year. They are the legitimate, pound-for-pound, second-best team in the country right now. They are the one team that combines what we all want, an underdog story, but with actual talent to hang around with the teams that we're all sick of. This whole playoff expansion won't feel real, Donnie. It's not going to pop with us until college football gets its version of Butler in the Final Four, or it's Jim Valvano, NC State, running the table. Because until then, this playoff is just boring. The lead up to the playoff, boring. It's a predictable machine, Donnie, that's built to crown the same old kings. We all wanted this expanded playoff so bad, Donnie, and I get it. Money talks, right? But right now, call me crazy, I'm enjoying everything leading up to the playoffs a whole hell of a lot more.
Stop it, Joe Ranieri. Expansion. And also, if we do expand here even more, it's going to save coaching jobs here. Do you hate the carousel of saying like LSU, oh, we got to buy out $50 million? You know what hurt them too, Joe? If you only had two teams, which the BCS used to do, it was hard to get to the national championship game. The coach's like, hey, what do you want me to do? Only two teams get in. It feels like we went to 12, Joe, and if you don't get in that top 12, you're out the door quick. So maybe the NCAA is like, well, if we make it 24 teams, that means the top 24 get in, and guys like Brian Kelly might be able to stick around a little bit longer. But understand this, too. We do like upsets until they actually happen, and we have to watch the team that upset them knock out one of the Blue Bloods. If you take a look at the NCAA expansion to the field of 64 and more, as we like to call it now, I think the highest seed to ever win it was like Villanova as an 8th seed. So technically, we shouldn't have any more than 8 seeds in each region. Why even have the 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, or 15 or 16 seeds there? Because they never make runs or win anything here. And it's been roughly, 30, 40 years since that's happened. Mm-hmm. I just like it because the games mean something when they're on. You are going to get blowouts. But let me tell you something, people out there. There is nothing worse than watching a bowl game on December 17th with 62 players in the portal and nobody cares about. At least we don't get the portal transfers and the guys will play. It's never going to be perfect. But for me, Joe, let's get to 24 teams there. How about that? Let's get to the early lineup here. Great caffeinated Joe to start your day on a Thursday. And away we go. Ovechkin. This guy's we're going to be able to line up pucks around the world. Like Ovechkin scored so many times. If you line those pucks up, it goes 3.5 times around the world. My goodness here. 900 goals? What?
I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. And like, how long has he been playing? Like, we've had a lot of great hockey players over the decades here and in the history of the game, well over 100 years, Donnie, right? The only guy ever to get 900 goals, longevity, my man, and doing it at such a ridiculously high level. It's crazy. He's such a freak, Donnie. Absolute pleasure to say that we grew up in a generation that watched a dude score his 900th goal in a game. Just hard to believe, man. One of those records that, I don't know, I just don't see ever being broken again.
Yeah, it's crazy. He's just running up numbers that are ridiculous because it's not that like another talent couldn't do that. It's just that another talent might not want to play as long as Ovechkin has been playing in the NHL. It's pretty incredible, the streak that he's on. How about LeBron James? What is incredible is he's still playing, but he's not really playing right now, but he's looking to get back on the court and go 5-on-5. Maybe he should have done this in August to get ready for the season, LeBron, huh?
There is absolutely no rush to bring LeBron James back here. He knows, as well as we all know, he's got to be ready for when the calendar turns to 2026 and there's going to be some sort of playoff push. That's when he'll come back. There's a lot of tread, a lot of miles on that body there. A lot of basketball miles there, Donnie. And yeah, it's important that he's ready to go in March and April, not in November.
And understand this, the NBA is all about statistics. LeBron James isn't coming back to give the coach a good 10 to 15 minutes a night because that'll hurt his overall statistics throughout his career. He's not coming back until he's ready to come back. Lakers be damned. You know, he's not coming back, Kyler Murray. They played this perfectly. They want to say, you know what? We don't have a controversy because our guy's on IR right now.
Yeah. Well, they'll give him more time to recover from a foot sprain, Donnie.
Yeah, how long is this?
Okay, let's see how that goes. We all saw this coming. Decision had to be made, and the organization, to their credit, made it rather quickly.
How about that here? C.J. Stroud out versus the Jaguars. Mills to start. I know you're not supposed to do this, but is it really that much of a downgrade this week, going from Stroud to Mills? How about that?
It's still a game where the first 1 to 3 wins, Donnie. I don't know what people are expecting in this game. Doesn't matter who the quarterback is.
And another story nobody gives a damn about, Walker Kessler. Most people like who he played for. Well, who he played for is out with shoulder surgery. What did his shoulder fall off?
Yeah. Well, he's had injuries his entire career. It's crazy, Donnie. Some of these guys are just permanent IR guys, always.
And how about this next story of the World Series? Yeah, we watched it. A Saturday night Game 7 with superstars across the board. An unbelievable game. Hey, Joe, that actually made money for Major League Baseball. Who'd have thunk that?
Yeah, shocker, right? What a team. I thought Toronto was supposed to drag ratings down. Didn't drag the ratings down.
Kyrgios going to take on in the Battle of the Sexes, Aryna Sabalenka here. You going to watch that one? You going to bet that, Joe?
Kyrgios is such a whacked out dude. I will bet it, Donnie. I actually won't watch it, but I'll bet it.
Spreadlines. Maybe it's in spread. Maybe Joe put this in Spreadlines next. You never know. Come on back and find out.
What have the Jays done all season long? And you've seen it, Kev, as a fan of the AL East. Yep. They get murdered or lose a heartbreaking game and come back and punch you in the face. They're not. It's what like the old Jays team used to fold, and that's what I used to hate about them. These guys are different. They're like guys you go to war with. It's like, man, you're my buddy. Like, let's go. Like, their clubhouse dynamic, I've never seen a Blue Jay team where everyone gets along.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Apparently, he's a pretty darn good defensive coordinator. The 49ers are decimated by injury. This guy's doing it again. Wade Phillips, Norv Turner, all these guys, there's a lot of great coordinators out there. I'm not so sure Mike McDaniel isn't a real good coordinator, a run game coordinator, a quarterback coach with the 49ers during some Super Bowl years. Maybe he's just not built to be a head coach.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
I think a divorce is coming. I don't think LeBron finishes the year with the LA Lakers. And the trump card he tried to play has backfired on him big time. And I'm here for all the smoke. I got my marshmallows. I got my skewers. I got the fireplace. I'm going to sit back, kicking my feet, and watch the LA dysfunction play out in real time.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Governor calls you out in a football state, you're out.
And it was so funny, too, because after he fired Kelly on Sunday, right, Woodward released a statement that said that, you know, in effect, that he was still in charge of the athletic department. Well, you didn't check with the governor because apparently he had other plans for the athletic department, and you're not in them.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Spreadlines, people, rise and grind. Open up your newspaper. Well, it's really a digital newspaper. That's why you watch us for right here on the SportsGrid Network on the Early Line. It's Donnie and it's Joe. We do this every single day, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. to get you ready for your day. And some of those Spreadlines don't have to include the biggest games of the week, but information you need to know when making a more informed decision. How about tomorrow night's football game? That's November the 7th, Friday night, 9 o'clock. Tulane and Memphis. This line opened up close to a touchdown favorite for Memphis. Joe, I'm seeing 3.5s now across the board in a total. That was around 58, 59. down to 54.5 at just about every place you're shopping at now. Tulane, Memphis. What's the spread line here?
Oh, you nailed it, Donnie. I mean, Tulane opened getting 7.5 in a number of spots here. Some spots were like, no, maybe that's a little bit too high, because this is a massive game on Friday night, tomorrow night, guys. Make no mistake about it. There is a chance to represent, the other schools here in the college football playoff. And Tulane is coming off one of the worst losses that I've seen all season long against UTSA. Memphis they were in a tough spot against Rice last week, but they ended up getting the convincing win, and all they keep doing is winning games, including against one of the other teams that is battling, South Florida. So I don't think it was a shock to see a touchdown, but it's really a shock to see all the money that has come in on Tulane here, because you mentioned it, Donnie. I'm seeing 3.5s and 4s in the marketplace right now, and even the total is starting to creep down a little bit. Memphis at home in this spot should be the favorite, but I thought they'd be a bigger favorite. That tells you a lot. That kind of line movement on a standalone Friday night game for all the marbles. Pretty impressive handle coming in on Tulane right now.
Let's get the Saturday afternoon noon kickoff here in the SEC. That's Georgia and Mississippi State. We take a look at this line, opened up over double digits, but right now, Joe, I'm seeing 9.5s and 8.5s, depending on where we're shopping at. Total 57.5, same in that ballpark, just about everywhere you look. Now, having said that, I'm seeing here, Joe, between 7 to 8 of every single ticket count in this game going towards Mississippi State as a public favorite in this one, or should I say a public dog here? What's the spread line for Georgia, Mississippi State for you, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, 9.5 10s, right, is what we saw here, Georgia getting. And I mean, I think a lot of people are looking at that 24-20 win over Florida and going, all right, game probably could have went either way here. But again, don't forget, that would have been 31-20 if he doesn't actually take the knee short of the goal line there for Georgia. But Mississippi State also beat a pretty good Arkansas, an explosive Arkansas team, and that was Jeff Levy's first SEC win. So, this line is starting to creep down here, Donnie, because I'm starting to see 8.5s in the marketplace here, and it looks like, maybe not everybody sold on what Georgia is selling right now, especially since they're on the road in this one. Georgia may win, but that is a big number to cover on the road in the SEC this time of year.
Let's head to the NFL and Sunday Night Football. The Pittsburgh Steelers with an impressive victory over the Indianapolis Colts this past weekend. The defense finally woke up. They're going to take on the Chargers, and they have electricity. I should say pun intended there, at the wide receiver and tight end position, but they have no offensive line. This line opened up, Joe, around 4.5 as a favorite. Now it's down to 3 across the board and a total of around 45.5. Pittsburgh goes west to take on the Chargers. What's your spread line for this one?
Well, I mean, you saw the pros thinking this opening line was just over the top, and they have absolutely jumped all over it all week long, dropping this thing down to an even 3, Donnie, and we know how key of number 3 is in the NFL. So it would not shock me, Donnie, quite honestly, if this thing drops below 3 before kickoff here, and that's kind of where I'm expecting it to be. So I think if you like Pittsburgh, now is the time to do it here, because the pros are clearly on the underdog Steelers in this spot here this weekend.
Let's go overseas to Germany, and a sold-out crowd anticipated for the Falcons taking on the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts add Sauce Gardner. The people can't get enough right now. Close to a touchdown favorite for the Colts, in a total listed at 48.5. What do we see out of the Colts? Everybody's in love with the Colts now.
Well, the public certainly is, Donnie, because we're talking about nearly 70% of the spread bets at a number of spots. Yeah, I'll lay it with the Colts. And you said, right? I mean, 7 was basically it at a neutral site game over the pond there. And, well, we ain't at 7 anymore, are we here, Donnie? This has been all pro money towards Atlanta here. Reverse line movement, folks, in favor of the Falcons. This line keeps moving towards Atlanta, despite the public hammering Indy, thinking that what they saw from Danny Dimes was an anomaly that they will get back and get right in this game here. This is kind of no man's land at this number right now, but keep in mind the Falcons are 3-1 against the number as a dog this season here. there's a lot of implications for this game, especially for Raheem Morris. If you like Atlanta, hurry up, because I don't think it's going anywhere near 6.5 or 7 again before it's all said and done.
Interesting to see, too, because they have one dominant wide out there on Atlanta, and they have a dominant cornerback in Sauce Gardner. There should be a fun matchup there. That's going to take place at 9:30 a.m. on Sunday morning. Rise and grind right here, because we have you covered on Pro Football Today, so something to keep an eye out for this weekend. How about the NBA? The Clippers and the Suns, the only game in the association tonight, should get some heavy betting. A 9 o'clock start between the Clippers and the Suns. Here's the key. Clippers expected to be without James Harden and without Kawhi Leonard tonight. The Suns are a favorite by 2.5, depending on where you're shopping at, and a total of 224.5. Joe, what's the spread line here for Clips Suns?
Well, we talked about Phoenix the other day, and we said, well, something's got to give. Phoenix is good. I think they're 3-1 at home, Donnie, but they have not won a game on the road yet. So they find themselves at home. This line yesterday was 5.5, but once we learned what the Clippers situation is going to be, we're looking at 2 now, right? 2.5 in the spot. Yeah, both these teams coming off losses here, but no Harden and no Kawhi. This is a big lift here for the Clippers on the road, but I think they get it done here, Danny. I think it's a bit of an overreaction. I'll be on the Clippers here tonight.
Here's what I have the problem with, Joe. You have one game in the NBA tonight, and it's a 9 o'clock game. So if you want to tune in like, hey, man, at least the Clippers got some superstars, right? No. One is on a personal day where he doesn't want to play, and the other one's just out at this point. This is what the NBA regular season really gets me going for things like this. One game, and it seems like it could be unwatchable. Enough with the madness. Make me commissioner. I'll fix everything. Let's get to some NFL news and notes up next.
What have the Jays done all season long? And you've seen it, Kev, as a fan of the AL East. Yep. They get murdered or lose a heartbreaking game and come back and punch you in the face. They're not. It's what, like the old Jays team used to fold, and that's what I used to hate about them. These guys are different. They're like guys you go to war with. It's like, man, you're my buddy. Like, let's go. Like, their clubhouse dynamic, I've never seen a Blue Jay team where everyone gets along.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Apparently, he's a pretty darn good defensive coordinator. The 49ers are decimated by injury. This guy's doing it again. Wade Phillips, Norv Turner, all these guys, there's a lot of great coordinators out there. I'm not so sure Mike McDaniel isn't a real good coordinator, a run game coordinator, a quarterback coach with the 49ers during some Super Bowl years. Maybe he's just not built to be a head coach.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
I think a divorce is coming. I don't think LeBron finishes the year with the LA Lakers. And the trump card he tried to play has backfired on him big time. And I'm here for all the smoke. I got my marshmallows. I got my skewers. I got the fireplace. I'm going to sit back, kicking my feet, and watch the LA dysfunction play out in real time.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Governor calls you out in the football state, you're out.
And it was so funny, too, because after he fired Kelly on Sunday, right, Woodward released a statement that said that, in effect, that he was still in charge of the athletic department. Well, you didn't check with the governor because apparently he had other plans for the athletic department, and you're not in them.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Jacoby Brissett, come on down, people. You are the new starting quarterback here, at least for the next couple weeks, for the Arizona Cardinals, and rightfully so, deservedly so, playing really good football. And this week, Arizona's going to take on the Seattle Seahawks. In that game, Joe, they're roughly a touchdown dog in this game and a total of 45.5. But we do have some video here with Jonathan Ganning explaining why and what's going on with the Kyler Murray injury.
Today, Kyler's going to go on IR. Feel like that's the best thing for him and for us. He's not fully healthy, ready to go yet, so that makes the most sense. Obviously, that's a change, but we just felt, looking at it right now, that's the best thing for him and us, like I just said. He's fully committed. Right now, what he's going to concentrate on is getting healthy. He's not healthy enough to play. He needs to get healthy so he can get back to playing football. So that's what we're doing.
Okay, Joe, let's start here with this. If Jacoby Brissett was playing bad football for the past 3 weeks, Kyler Murray would be fully healthy, ready to go. Can't wait to get him on the field at Seattle and try to resurrect our season. Now you have Jacoby Brissett playing really good football. Putting Kyler Murray back in right now because he wasn't playing good football doesn't make any sense. The perfect storm here for Arizona. Hey, Kyler, going on IR takes the pressure off you. And Jacoby, you deserve the start. Go ahead and start, kid.
Well, and we said it, Donnie, right? We said it on Monday. We said, look out. Arizona's got a decision to make here because the locker room clearly, and this offense clearly is on the same page with Jacoby Brissett under center. It was not under Kyler Murray. And by the way, new offensive coordinator here in Arizona again for Kyler Murray. And it did not work. It looked disjointed all over the place. Now you get Jacoby Brissett in there, and this is a team averaging 26, 27 points a game with him under center. I mean, what choice did Jonathan Gadden have at this point here? You got a guy that's still due $100 million. You're going to I don't know how he returns here unless something absolutely blows up for Brissett. I just don't see what choice they have now. But the problem is they at least save face, Donnie, if they're going to trade him and they're going to unload him with this contract. Better he's on the IR than just sitting on the sideline as a backup to Jacoby Brissett. So this is all by the book for Arizona right now.
Yeah, to be honest, it was actually the perfect storm for them, as it made sense, because you can't really fight the fact you could say, oh, he's still injured, but why is he on IR? What do you mean he's still injured? You put him on IR, but that's a tough conversation, which I don't know if Kyler Murray cares about it. He's just saying, let's fire up the new Call of Duty, the new Battlefield that are coming out here and say, look, I'll just be able to play more of that. But he knows, the coach knows, and Brissett knows, and that locker room knows. Kyler Murray was probably healthy enough to come back, but they just wanted to avoid that situation entirely, and that's what they did here. Talking about avoiding a situation entirely, you need weapons and you need wide receivers to win in football here. You made a trade this week. We're talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they said, you know what? Let's beef up our wide receiving core. We're going to add Myers. Here's Liam Cohen talking about that situation now.
Yeah, that's the exact is the challenge, is the balance of how much he can handle, how quickly can he get some of the formations down, the timing, obviously, at practice, and some of the, just throwing on air with Trev and getting some getting some reps that way. But it'll really come down to all right, what are the things specific that, you want to get him in the flow of the game, you want to get him opportunities, but also just to go play as a Jaguar. Not necessarily every time he's in, it's something that he has to go and do. You just want to make sure there's a balance there. So that'll be a process throughout this week and through each part of the plan. Okay, normal D&D, third downs, red zone. How much in those areas can you give them? And that's the balance for sure.
Brian Thomas Jr. banged up there with that shoulder injury. You also talk about Travis Hunter, top 3 pick in the NFL draft this year. He's been out. He's going to be out a while here with that knee injury. So you needed some fortification at the wide receiver position. But you know what I'm intrigued by too, Joe? Give me late in the season. Give me into like December where all 3 of these guys are out there. That offense, I like what we're doing here in Jacksonville. Just don't think it's going to be enough possibly to make the playoffs and or win this division.
Hunter, I just don't get it. Like, he hurt himself in practice, but he's got to be out now on IR for 4 weeks at least, and then they'll reevaluate him. But in the meantime, I think Jacksonville's key to success, Donnie, is going to be exactly what they've been doing. They have to be able to run the football. If they can, I think Myers will help them kind of, bridge the gap until they can get some reinforcements back.
Yeah, take a look at this weekend, too. Houston now is no longer a favorite in this game. They opened up at 2.5 at the opening lines here. It's a 1.5-point favorite here to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I know Joe loves this. 37.5. Final score, 3-2 hockey score down there in Houston this weekend. We got more news and notes coming up, but also we got a Thursday night football game we got to get to tonight. Denver on a roll. Do they keep it going tonight?
starts off on a positive note of getting Lamar Jackson back Thursday night, which was great. He threw for 200 yards, did not look rusty at all. He only rushed for 15, but he didn't really need that. Lamar Jackson also threw for 4 touchdowns, 2 of which going to Mark Andrews. So guess who's back and relative again at the tight end position now that Lamar's back? Oh, wait, it's Mark Andrews. No kidding. I mean, the guy just catches touchdowns. It's Lamar's favorite guy in the red zone.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Listen, never understood a word he said, but it doesn't matter because he was able to walk into living rooms and get kids to sign. It's a little different situation with the NIL now, but the reality is he represents Louisiana. He is Mr. Louisiana. You should have never fired him to begin with in this spot. So, yeah, I hope they do reconsider and bring him back.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
There's a far longer track record of the Chiefs laying huge numbers and not covering them with Mahomes than anything on the contrary.
And they did that a lot last year where they didn't cover those numbers, but a lot of the time last year they didn't have Rice and they weren't fully healthy, and now they are fully healthy. And now we have an offense that has 4 viable receivers, 2 tight ends, and 2 running backs.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
24 points, and 23 rebounds. Folks, let me tell you something. That's 23 rebounds versus Tennessee. Not Tennessee Tech, not Tennessee Chattanooga, not East Tennessee, West Tennessee, South Tennessee. I don't know how many Tennessees they got in that state. That's a university. He did it against Rick Barnes' kids.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Divisional matchup tonight in the AFC West from the Mile High City. That's Las Vegas taking on Denver. It's the Raiders and the Broncos. If we look at the lines, Joe, opening up right around that 9.5 price point, it's down a little bit. Some outlets here like FanDuel, 8.5. You take a look at DraftKings, 9.5. Some other outlets, BetMGM and Bet365 at -9s across the board. So a heavy favorite. The total of this game, Joe, hasn't really moved. The 42.5s, they're still there. Some outlets at 43 as a high, but as we take a look at Denver tonight, and as we get into the month of November, you're expecting cooler conditions. Not necessarily, Joe. 55 degrees at kickoff, no precipitation, and very light winds. This is as good as it gets there for the Rocky Mountains in November. You got a clean slate tonight.
Yeah, you do. And I mean, listen, there is obviously some issues going on with the Raiders, but I think what we saw there in the fourth quarter and beyond is, Brock Bowers is a game changer for this team here. He also happens to be playing a position that has given this vaunted defense of the Broncos the most trouble this season. And the guy can absolutely move the chains. And if they can get Genty involved here and not having Jacoby Meyer now as your number 1 receiver is a bit of an issue. But it feels like the ultimate flat spot of flat spots here for the Broncos, too, who have been covering games, winning games, barely, Donnie, and everything seems to be a sweat with them. Now they get a division rival with nothing to lose, prime time, and boy, would they love to go into Denver and just stick it to them. I do not, under any circumstances, in divisional games, short week or not, like laying more than a touchdown here, Donnie. So this is one of those, it's a dog or pass for me here tonight in this one.
Take a look at the quarterback situation, right? Bo Nix, captain comeback at this point. Geno Smith finally like, hey, man, I got my number 1 weapon back in Brock Bowers, and boy, is he a lot of fun to throw to. Now, also, you made a trade at the wide receiver position, so you're down one of those players, but really, that player injured most of the time, angry, not really getting the looks and really showcasing him, and he got shipped off to Jacksonville, as we're talking about Jacoby Myers. But if we look at Nix at 215.5 as that passing prop, Geno Smith at 212.5, it seems to me like the pathway to victory for the Raiders is not throwing the football all over the place, or even let's just say we're going to have a running back in Genty, 16 carries, 132 yards, and 2 touchdowns. For me, like Geno Smith has to throw for over 212 yards if the Raiders want to win tonight for me. Bo Nix, I don't think he has to throw for 215. I think that ground game can eat up that really bad defense on the Raiders tonight.
Well, the problem is the weakest part of the Raiders defense is the secondary. It's not against the run. They're actually pretty good against the run. They did a really good job against the run against Jacksonville, but then they got shredded in the secondary in that fourth quarter. So, Bo Nix might not have a choice but to throw the ball here tonight. But, and if I'm Gino, I'm not trying. Get the ball to your playmakers. That's it. Just get the ball to your playmakers in this spot and see what happens. These two teams know each other very, very well, Donnie. It's a division rival. No matter what the records say, these games are never easy, especially in a prime time spot on a short week here for both teams.
Yeah, not great offenses overall, but the better defense certainly resides in Denver over the Raiders. And also, it is home field advantage here. And how about the Denver Broncos, one of two teams here without a loss on their home field? I think the other team there is the Indianapolis Colts. So that's certainly going to play into something. But if we do look at the touchdown scoring markets, J.K. Dobbins is the leader right now in the clubhouse, Joe, around a minus 120 price. Everybody else is plus money. Ashton Genty, Cortland Sutton, Brock Bowers, who scored 3 times last week. He's at a plus 160 price. You are getting some pretty good numbers out there if you can pick who's going to score tonight. I do think J.K. Dobbins scores, but again, he's the favorite at minus 120. Any touchdown props you're looking at tonight here on this card, Joe?
Yeah, Bowers all day long.
Bang,
yeah,
bang.
he will find pay dirt. Yeah, he will find pay dirt here in a big time. And listen, I think Genty's got a pretty good opportunity to find the end zone as well. Even if it's not rushing, I think coming out of the backfield and receiving, I think there's some opportunities there for the Raiders in this one here.
Yeah, you take a look at some of the pass catchers out there. Like if you just look at the wide receiver position, for the Raiders, Trey Tucker, who would be the de facto number one, plus 390. Besh out here at a 12-1 price. You go down Dylan Lawby, 35-1. It's crazy, man. But again, you're not expecting a lot of a lot of touchdown passes coming out here from the quarterback position, specifically for the Raiders. And honestly, if we take a look at the Raiders and Geno Smith, he's actually listed at over 1 touchdown pass, which is a half at minus 250. If we remove the juice from that situation, he's got to throw 1 touchdown tonight, right?
Yeah, I think so, yes. I would imagine so. Because even if it is a blowout, Donnie, you know what's going to happen there in the fourth quarter. There's going to be opportunities, prevent defense, everything else. Because if I'm Denver, the last thing I want to do is, risk in a game that's easily in hand. I do not want what happened to Washington, right? Having guys worried about, you already lost Surtain. You don't want to lose anybody else trying to, maintain a 20-point lead here in the fourth quarter.
How about the rushing props then as we take a look at, one team with the lead in the fourth quarter expected to be the Denver Broncos. J.K. Dobbins listed at 70.5. Ashton Genty, 55.5. R.J. Harvey does have some chances for explosive plays. He's 22.5. Bo Nix and Geno Smith as the quarterbacks are listed there also. The keys to the castle tonight in the backfield, Joe. Dobbins, Genty, anybody?
Yeah, well, Dobbins has done a great job, but I got to tell you, quietly under the radar, a great prop for a running back has been R.J. Harvey catching out of the backfield. His receiving prop, he caught a touchdown last game as well. They have been targeting him. He's the pass-catching running back in that offense there. He might find himself racking up some yards as a receiver in this game here tonight.
How about this statistic here? And we talk about really good defenses, but they are down their best cornerback overall, but seemingly it doesn't matter here. The Broncos' franchise record for most games in a season without allowing a touchdown is 5 by the 1978 season. The 2025 Broncos haven't allowed a touchdown in 4 games. There are 8 games left for them to blow that record out of the water. Could this be one of those games here? Because there's always those props. It's like, hey, no touchdown scored here by a certain team. Is that going to happen tonight with the Raiders? Could we see the 5th game of the year that the Denver defense hasn't allowed a touchdown?
Division rival. I don't treat that's one thing to hold Houston right out of division, but I mean, I'd be more impressed if you do it to Kansas City, the Chargers, the Raiders. Do it to your own division. That's tough to do given the history between these teams.
We take a look at the standings here in the AFC West, and you look at the Broncos at 7-2. You look at the Chargers at 6-3. You look at the Chiefs now at 5-4. But if you look at the numbers to win the division here, it's a slight lead for the Broncos at plus 125, the Chiefs at plus 130, and then the Chargers at plus 420. You're talking about a third-place team here at plus 130 in the Chiefs. Nobody can give up on them, it seems like, Joe.
Yeah, no, and you shouldn't either. Because now, Donnie, is the time to back them, right? Now is the time in order to jump in here because the schedule's not easy, but we all know that Kansas City plays much better against better competition in the moment. So I expect them, much like the Ravens, where they're going to be playing playoff-style football, do-or-die football from here on out.
Yeah, NFL did a little bit of a favor here for the Chiefs because they have a bye week before they come up and play who? Oh, yeah, the Denver Broncos. But also, they put Denver on a Thursday night game to give them a little bit extra break here on a non-bye week here. That is a huge game. So you take a look, and it's like, okay, call it double digits tonight as a favorite towards the Broncos. They win. I got to tell you, man, that following game, which, again, Denver is going to be home against the Chiefs, that's probably going to decide the division because the Chiefs come off a bye and lose a game to Denver. That's another game on top and not a lot of season left at this point. What a massive game coming up, Joe, in about a week and a half here between the Broncos and the Chiefs in that division. And also for playoffs, the Chiefs lose. That means they're 500 and fighting for their life.
Yes, absolutely correct. So it's they still got a couple of shots at them. The teams that they have to beat are still in front of them, Donnie. And if you're Denver, if we're going to take you seriously, well, you've got opportunities coming up here to be able to handle it.
Yeah, take a look here at the Denver Broncos. They play the Raiders, Chiefs, then the Commanders, which might be a layup, and the Raiders, but then Packers, Jaguars, Chiefs, Chargers to end the season here for Denver. You got to beat the easy teams like the Raiders tonight to get that jump started. We'll see if they can do that. Let's head back here to the NFL and get caught updated on the Jets and the Jets fans. What's happening?
Starts off on a positive note of getting Lamar Jackson back Thursday night, which was great. He threw for 200 yards, did not look rusty at all. He only rushed for 15, but he didn't really need that. Lamar Jackson also threw for 4 touchdowns, 2 of which going to Mark Andrews. So guess who's back and relative again at the tight end position now that Lamar's back? Oh, wait, it's Mark Andrews. No kidding. I mean, the guy just catches touchdowns. It's Lamar's favorite guy in the red zone.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Listen, never understood a word he said, but it doesn't matter because he was able to walk into living rooms and get kids to sign. It's a little different situation with the NIL now, but the reality is he represents Louisiana. He is Mr. Louisiana. What better? You should have never fired him to begin with in this spot. So, yeah, I hope they do reconsider and bring him back.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
There's a far longer track record of the Chiefs laying huge numbers and not covering them with Mahomes than anything on the contrary.
And they did that a lot last year where they didn't cover those numbers, but a lot of the time last year they didn't have Rice and they weren't fully healthy, and now they are fully healthy. And now we have an offense that has 4 viable receivers, 2 tight ends, and 2 running backs.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
24 points, and 23 rebounds. Folks, let me tell you something. That's 23 rebounds versus Tennessee. Not Tennessee Tech, not Tennessee Chattanooga, not East Tennessee, West Tennessee, South Tennessee. I don't know how many Tennessees they got in that state. That's a university. He did it against Rick Barnes' kids.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Football, Jets fans, goes hand in hand. You're born into it, Jets fans. You know it. You got to root them on, knowing that at the end of the tunnel, there's never the light. It's always a train ready to smack you down. And, remember Dr. Dre had The Aftermath, was a fantastic situation, a great album here. We now have the aftermath of the New York Jets and what actually happened with them trading away superstar players. Let's get you caught up to date. Yesterday, we had a video on a certain young Jets fan that wasn't taking it all that well.
And it's okay, okay? What? The Jets traded Sauce today.
To where? To where?
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'll get you a different one. He went to Indianapolis, and they also traded. They also traded Quinn Williams. He did, but so did Sauce.
No, I don't like the Jets. That did Quincy leave?
No, Quincy's still there.
Now.
No, it's fine. Quinn Williams on the Cowboys. Sauce went to the Colts. It's okay.
I want the Colts now.
Guess what? We got 3 first-round picks for it. So we have 3.
Ah, man, just the Jets just reliving situations. And by the way, if you are like Jets ownership and stuff, like these are your fans out here, Joe, that their hearts are breaking because you are so bad. And it feels like the sun never comes up.
The next generation of Jet fans, and already you've got them blowing up here because you guys have no idea what you're doing. But hopefully that will all change here over the next couple of years, Donnie. Fingers crossed.
And how about this for that kid right now? He's upset, and he said he wants to be a Colts fan. Well, the Colts went to social media with this.
Sauce went to the Colts. It's okay.
I want the Colts now.
What's going on, Bryce, Trey? Just want to say I appreciate y'all for the support. With that being said, I'm going to be giving y'all 2 of my first Coach jerseys.
Smart move,
Great.
Joe. They get it. That is unbelievable presence on social media to pick up that situation. And the funny part about it is, too, it's like the Colts stepped in and knew the situation and saw scar there, and they handled it. And the Jets just still probably have their head in the sand like, oh, we don't even know what to do now.
Shout out to the Colts social media department for hanging with us here on the early line to actually see that video. So we appreciate it, man. Shout out to them. But there's only one way to do it, Donnie, and that's how you do it. That's how you make your presence up. Bring some of those ailing Jet fans, that next generation, make them Colts fans. That is brilliant with the social media department there at Indy.
Here's Aaron Glenn talking about those major trades that just went down.
What do you say to the fans who were frustrated by a 1-7 record? They just saw their ticket prices go up, and they just saw 2 of their favorite players get traded away. What do you say to them?
Nothing different than I've been saying. Listen, I want this to be a team that the fans are proud of. But again, I never said that we're going to be proud of them right now. At some point, I want this to be a team that that the fans are proud of, and I still stick with that. And I would still say that this is a team that the fans will be proud of. And I'm not going to get into the patience and all that type of crap that you always hear. But I would tell you this, our guys are working. We're going to continue to work. And, again, I'm going to stand by that statement. I want this to be a team that the fans are proud of. So don't let go of the rope. You've heard me say that before. And just continue to watch us work.
Don't let go of the rope, Joe. Is there even any rope left for Jets fans after all these years?
Well, again, I mean, you just extended the rope a little bit by doing what you did. But maybe the most valuable people in the Jets organization right now, Donnie, aren't any of the coaches or the guys on the field. Can somebody please throw up the New York Jets scouts who are going to be the ones instrumental in figuring out what to do with the 375 draft picks that you now have coming up over the next couple of seasons? Because if they don't do their job, Donnie, none of this will matter. None of it.
Unbelievable stuff. You're right. Like, you get the draft picks, but that doesn't mean like, hey, we did it. Like, no, those draft picks has to cash in the really good football players, which includes quarterbacks, wide receivers, defensive tackles, and yes, superstar cornerbacks here. If we take a look at the NFL draft odds right now to be number 1 overall, Ty Simpson, plus 185. He's a QB from Alabama. Fernando Mendoza, you see him from Indiana, plus 300 price. Dante Moore, Oregon, at a 6-1. Then there's Ruben Hurricane Bane at plus 750 here. So quarterbacks can be had. The ammunition, you have to go get them. So if the Jets like a player, they can make it happen.
Yeah, and they'll probably go get Ruben Bain with the number 1 pick just to see that it's still the same old Jets. Jets. Now, there are some intriguing quarterbacks coming out this year, Donnie, which I think they have the amount of draft capital. They can pick a quarterback this year or next year. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all unfolds for them. But they clearly control what's going to happen in the draft over the next couple of seasons.
By the way, incredible stuff here, too. Let's get to little Breece Hall. Breece Hall was saying, I might want out of here, but here's him talking about the trades here.
This is a good chance to set the record straight, though. Would you have welcomed a trade?
I mean, I don't think it's up to a player to be traded. It's not really.
Some guys do.
It's not really. Yeah, but it's not really like. I think in my situation, it was. If I was going to be traded, it was going to be whether I wanted to be or not.
Yeah.
So.
Were you hoping to be?
Nah, it's just like I said. It was. If it was going to happen, it was going to happen whether I wanted it to or not. So it was one of those things where I was like, I mean, I can't control what's going to go on. It's going to be what it's going to be. So I just got to be where my feet are and take it with a grain of salt, whatever happens.
This is a sign for Jets fans, too. You kept your running back. You kept your top wide receiver. The reason why you didn't tear it all the way down, because they expect to get a rookie quarterback. And sometimes, Joe, you say you should have just did a complete rebuild and do that. However, if you do draft your quarterback, you need some talent around him so he makes his progressions and can fit right into the NFL. You don't want him going down a scenario where it's like, hey, complete rebuild, rookie comes in, bad wideouts, bad running back, and he gets his head exploded for an entire year. That's probably what the Jets are looking forward to. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense, right, Joe? Like, what next year? Like, oh, we're going to pass on quarterback. We'll wait till the following season. Well, then it makes no sense to keep your wideout and running back.
Well, no. And listen, I don't think Brees Hall at the end of the contract, I think it would have been great, by the way, if he was like, wait a minute, I don't have a say in whether or not I'm going to be traded or not. What do you think? This is the NBA? Only the NBA players get to decide if they want to be traded or not. We don't do that in the NFL. We have no say in the NFL. And he would have been absolutely 100% correct.
Exactly. Brees Hall goes to management. I want out. You'll sit over there and you'll like it. Okay, I like it. I'll play next week. No big deal. That's the difference, man. You know it. Yep. More news and notes on the NBA coming up next. Come on back and find out what.
What have the Jays done all along? And you've seen it, Kev, as a fan of the AL East. They get murdered or lose a heartbreaking game and come back and punch you in the face. They're not. It's what, like the old Jays team used to fold, and that's what I used to hate about them. These guys are different. They're like guys you go to war with. It's like, man, you're my buddy. Like, let's go. Like, their clubhouse dynamic, I've never seen a Blue Jay team where everyone gets along.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Apparently, he's a pretty darn good defensive coordinator. The 49ers are decimated by injury. This guy's doing it again. Wade Phillips, Norv Turner, all these guys, there's a lot of great coordinators out there. I'm not so sure Mike McDaniel isn't a real good coordinator, a run game coordinator, a quarterback coach with the 49ers during some Super Bowl years. Maybe he's just not built to be a head coach.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
I think a divorce is coming. I don't think LeBron finishes the year with the LA Lakers. And the trump card he tried to play has backfired on him big time. And I'm here for all the smoke. I got my marshmallows. I got my skewers. I got the fireplace. I'm going to sit back, kicking my feet, and watch the LA dysfunction play out in real time.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Governor calls you out in a football state. You're out.
And it was so funny, too, because after he fired Kelly on Sunday, right, Woodward released a statement that said that, in effect, that he was still in charge of the athletic department. Well, you didn't check with the governor because apparently he had other plans for the athletic department, and you're not in them.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Oh, NBA gambling here. Let's talk about that instead of the games. Why? Because you only got one game tonight, and it's not even going to have any superstars in there. Maybe Devin Booker shows up and saves the night here for the Phoenix Suns because James Harden, he's not punching any clocks tonight, and neither is Kawhi Leonard. But also understand this. Big news came down across the sports landscape, Joe, that we like to keep the people updated on. ESPN Bet, no longer, as of December 1st, 2025, will be rebranded The Score. So a big market operator moving around and changing sponsors here, Joe.
Yeah, listen, I mean, it's we've seen it, right? We've seen already a whole bunch of guys, change hands over the time, and this is just the nature of the beast. Contract comes out, somebody else willing to step in. That's it. So it's but they're not going away anytime soon. It's just going to be a different branding.
Yep, different branding here. By the way, Shams Charania, a tweet from yesterday showed a United States Congressional Committee is meeting with NBA officials Wednesday in Washington, D.C. in the wake of indictments of Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier, and Damon Jones, sources tell ESPN. Now, granted, anytime you have some sort of a scandal, Congress wants to understand what the situation is. They'll ask questions. Nothing will come away with it. Somebody's going to take this politically and hijack the situation in the room. That's just what Congress does. But they are meeting tomorrow for the scandal. And the NBA is going to assure them this is a one-time thing, and it will never happen again.
Yeah, I don't even think it's Adam Silver going and talking. I think it's going to be a few other guys there associated with the NBA. But, I mean, listen, it's all right. They got to play along. Nothing like it whenever you get a congressional committee together, it's more about grandstanding than it is doing anything else, Donnie. It's a lot of eyeballs on that today.
On the court, or should I say off the court right now, Walker Kessler, we're in November. He's getting shoulder surgery. And they said, he's out for the remaining parts of the season, averaging 14 and 10 early here. He's not going to play the rest of the year.
And which is unfortunate because when he's been healthy, he's been a difference maker here. But unfortunately, this has been an ongoing thing with him in his career where, is he active? No, he's always on the injury report. He's never available, plays in less than half the games, and now he's going to miss, looks like, the rest of the season here.
By the way, in the NBA, shame on some teams that just don't understand what actually takes place in the past and try to relay that into the future. Donnie, what are you talking about? Shams Charania, a tweet yesterday. Oh, look at this. Pelican Zion Williamson is out at least 7 to 10 days with a left hamstring strain. When has this guy ever been healthy enough to do anything on the basketball court other than sign massive extensions and never play basketball? It's clear he doesn't take care of his body and doesn't care about the NBA or his organization. And it's the blatant most disrespect you can have. But if you're going to keep paying the guy, he's going to keep being out of shape. Case in point, another injury to Zion.
Shocker. And they won last night, Donnie. Go figure. They won last night without him, which is even more funny, actually. But say there's so much going wrong with the New Orleans Pelicans organization right now. Zion is just the tip of the iceberg. There is a mutiny going on in the locker room. Nobody likes the coach. They got to figure out what to do there because the fire sale began with Brandon Ingram and everyone last year. Zion, unfortunately, is making so much money here. I think they're handcuffed to him. You made your bed, much like Memphis made it with Ja Morant. So good luck, New Orleans.
Yeah, they'll probably somehow be able to trade him to the Lakers for like a bench warmer. I'm like, don't connect straight up for Zion, and then he'll suddenly get in shape, and away you go in L.A. But it just doesn't work. Like, New Orleans is a franchise that I remember the party that specifically their sales team had the minute they got that number one pick. Oh, my God, we are back. No, you're not back. You're out because the guy never plays, and he's an albatross down there for a Pelican. How about 2 birds and 1 stone right there, Joe? Let's keep it moving in the NBA from last night. The T-Wolves and the Knicks. Well, thanks for playing, Minnesota. New York routs the Timberwolves. 137-114 here behind 25 for OG Anunoby and 23 out of Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, it was awful. I mean, Minnesota, welcome back, Anthony Edwards, but it really didn't make a difference. The Knicks boat raced them there. They out-rebounded them. They basically out-hustled them every chance they got. Before they knew it, they were behind the 8 ball, and that game was over in the first half, Donnie.
Spurs, Lakers, 118-116 last night. The Lakers pick up the dub at home, even without Austin Reeves. Go, Luka, go.
Luka's a machine. I think most points through, 9 games or something along those lines that he's ever had. And it was impressive. It did come down to one final play there. And both teams had guys fouling out left and right. But the Lakers held on, which is all that matters.
Lakers pick up the victory here. We end hour number 1 and move it over to hour number 2. We're only getting started, and we'll be right back.